free to close your eyes. Take a moment in your seat to connect with your breath, your body, mind, your heart. Just tuning into how you're feeling in all of these different aspects of yourself. Notice your breath as you inhale, the rise of your abdomen. As you exhale, the contraction. Rooting through your sitting bones, rise through the top of your head. And as a way of stepping into our practice, we'll sing Om one time. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Om. Gently open your eyes. Let's begin in downward facing dog. Stretching out the backs of our legs, spine, reaching your arms, pushing them down and forward, your heels and feet down and back. Feel free to either stay still, maybe shaking your head a few times, or maybe dog jog, bending one knee, straightening the other. And feel free to add any extra movements like swinging your hips side to side or moving to the outer and inner edge of one foot and the other, and then going back and forth through sideways dog. Balasana, child's pose. Bring your big toes together, your knees wide. Rest your forehead and nose on the floor. You can either do arms extended variation or shoulders to knees variation, palms point up by your legs. Feel free to stay still here or just rock your head side to side, rolling across your forehead. Place your hands by your ears. Pull your shoulders back, lift your head up. And then come up to all fours, hands and knees. Several rounds of cat and cow at your own pace. With your breath, lifting and lengthening as you inhale, rounding as you exhale. Feel free after a few rounds to add organic movements. Come back to neutral. Left hand under left shoulder. Reach your right arm all the way up and hold with your arms straight toward the ceiling. Then swing your right shoulder and ear to the floor, revolve child's pose. Walk your left hand forward into your right. Push through your left arm, pull with your right arm. Tack your left hip back and your right hip forward. Try to lift your left upper arm away from your ear and face. Walk your left hand back. Push through your left arm, reach your right arm all the way up and hold it there. Lower your hand, lift your left arm all the way up and hold. Swing shoulder and ear to the floor. Feel free to walk right hand forward into the left. Push through your right arm, pull with your left arm. Tack right hip back, left hip forward. Walk your right hand back, push down, reach your left arm all the way up and hold. Lower your hand. Anahatasana, you can either do the melting heart version like you would see in yin, forearms to the floor, pushing your arms forward, forehead to the floor, or you can do the whole chest between hands version or chest to the floor, arms out straight, whichever one you like better. Lift your head, pull yourself forward, and lower down onto your belly. Take your right arm to the right, palm flat, arm straight, and left hand next to the left side of your chest. Roll onto your right hip. Scoot your hips slightly forward, lift left leg, bend your knee, step your foot behind you. Feel free to drop ear to the floor. Maybe take left arm up, point your palm back, bend your elbow, and wrap your arm behind your waist. Lift your left arm up, hand to the floor, roll back to your belly, and switch sides. Take your left arm to the left, right hand next to your chest. Push down through your left arm as you roll to your left. Scoot hips slightly forward, lift your right leg up, bend your knee, step your foot behind you. Feel free to drop your ear to the floor. Lift right arm, point palm back, bend your elbow, wrap your arm behind your waist. Lift your right arm up. Lower your hand to the floor. Roll back to your belly. Come up onto your left forearm. You can take your forearm further out in front of you so you're not in a super back bend. And then bend your right knee. Reach back and grab your right foot and pull your heel toward your hip. You can either stay in the upright position or take your forehead down to your forearm and hold. Half frog resting variation. Lift your head up, lower your foot. Switch sides, right forearm in front. Bend your left knee, grab your left foot. Pull your heel toward your bottom. And then lower your head if you'd like. Lift your head up, lower your foot. Then roll on your right side. Scoot your hips forward and take your head into your right hand so you're lounging. Now you can do bent knees or straight legs. And then take your left arm if you'd like to challenge yourself along your left side. Otherwise, feel free to keep it on the floor. Push through your right foot, right hip, and right elbow. You're both toning and stretching your right side. And go ahead and switch. Left side down. When you're ready, feel free to take your right arm, drape it on your right side. Lower your hand, come back to your belly, then push up to all fours. Come onto your knees and curl your toes under. Slide your knees back and slide all the way back to your hips. And sit up. Interlace your fingers, backs of hands on head. Pull really hard on your fingers as you push your arms towards straight thunderbolt. Take your hands to the floor, tops of feet to the floor, and then interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. And then do or don't straighten your arms. And then from here, you could stay upright. Just enjoy the shoulder stretch or round your spine. Bring your forehead toward your knees or to the floor in front of your knees. Move shoulders away from the floor the whole time. Inhale, slowly come back up. Release your hands. Step to your feet, making your feet about hip distance or 2 fists width apart from the inner arches. Bend your knees so your ribs and thighs touch and fold heart first, head last toward your legs. You can either just hang here, hands on the floor, or grab onto your elbows. Feel free to swing side to side. Lengthen your spine. Step on your palms with your thumbs pointing in, fingers pointing toward your toes, palms pointing up. Lean forward into your hands, then push through your big toe and pinky toe edges of your feet into your hands. Maybe wiggle your feet around a little bit to massage your hands more. Then widen your elbows to the sides, push up into your feet with your hands, and then pull yourself, shoulder blades onto your back, toward your legs. I always like to remind people that anytime you get anything with your respiratory system, do this pose. It's one of its main effects is to help your lungs, your immune system. Step off of your hands, bend your knees, and come all the way down onto your back. On your back, place your feet hip distance flat on the floor, toes pointing straight ahead. And then one at a time, walk your shoulders in toward your spine for bridge pose. Lift your hips up as you push your head, shoulders, and feet down. Grab onto your mat or interlace your fingers. Push more through your inner feet. Lift your chest toward your chin, but your chin away from your chest. Doesn't have to be anything big, just enough to get a little stretch and tone in your hips. Slowly lower back down, releasing your hands. Let your knees go side to side, windshield wipers. Sukhi Randrasana, needle's eye. Right ankle over your left knee. Widen right knee to the right. Clamp your heel toward your hips. And then pull your legs toward your chest. Interlace fingers around your left thigh or your shin as you draw your legs in a little more closely. Feel free to rock side to side on your right side of your back. Tibetan weaponry prep. Let go of your shin with your hands. Keep your ankle crossed over your knee. And then drop your legs over to the left so the sole of your right foot is flat on the floor and your right knee points up. Tuck your right hip away from your right shoulder and just take your arms out like cactus arms. Push leg into knee, knee into leg, or leg into foot, or knee into foot, foot into knee. And breathe here. You can stay here or come into Tibetan weaponry. Point your right knee toward your face. Grab your right foot with your left hand and grab your left foot with your right hand. Pull your left heel toward the floor, toward your hip, and then kick your right leg towards straight to the left. So we're in that twisted shape. Tack your right hip away from your right shoulder and tack your right shoulder toward the floor. Bend your right knee. Point your right knee straight up. Come back up to center, hips to center. Left ankle over right knee, Sukhi Randrasana. Pull your legs in, grab right thigh or shin. Feel free to rock side to side on the left side of your back. Tibetan weaponry prep. Let go of your shin. Take your legs to the right. Actively point your left knee up. Push foot and knee into each other. Arms to the sides. Tibetan weaponry. Point your left knee towards your face. Grab your left foot with your right hand, right foot with your left hand. Right heel to hip, left leg towards straight. Bend your left knee, point it up, let go of your feet. Come back up, hips to center. Roll back to one side, and then sit up. Take your legs into a wide-legged seat, facing a long edge of your mat. And then keeping your toes and kneecaps pointing straight up, we're going to turn toward the right leg and start to fold toward the right leg. maybe go all the way down to your leg. Let your head rest toward your knee and breathe here. Next inhale, sit up. Turn to the left and slowly start to take it heart first, head last, toward your leg. Slowly come back up. And then use your hands under your knees to pull your legs and feet together, knees wide. Scoot as close as you'd like to your feet or as far away from them. You can bring your big toe edges together or separate them. Just make sure you push into your pinky edges. And then extend your knees wide rather than down. And then you can stay here or either lean back on your hands or wrap your thumbs around your arches, fingers around the tops of your feet, and then fold heart first, head last toward your legs. Always feel free to take chest to feet, forehead to or toward the floor, and arms extended out in front for that variation. Next inhale, slowly sit up. Use your hands under your knees to pull your legs together. Then turn and face the short edge of your mat Take your legs out in front of you and then fold over your legs. Try not to sneeze. And then from here, bring your heart first, head last, toward your legs, forehead toward your legs as well, maybe in between your legs if you have your feet a little apart. And breathe here. Next inhale, slowly sit up. Parivrtta, Janu Shirshasana, take your left knee to the left. Feel free to take it wider than 90 degrees or about 90 degrees. And then push through your legs, twist to the left, right hand to left knee. Take your left arm straight up, and then lean to the right, lengthening as you lean. Maybe go all the way side to thigh or use your hand or forearm inside your leg for support. If you can stay sideways and grab your foot, feel free to grab outer edge with left hand, inner edge with right hand. And turn more open. Next inhale, slowly come back up. Take your left leg forward. Take your right knee to the right. And then turn to the right, stay long in your spine. Take right arm up, lean to the left. Feel free to use your arms or come all the way down side to thigh. Maybe right hand outer foot, left hand inner foot. Slowly sit up. Turn to face your legs. Take your legs out straight. Take your forearms to the floor behind you. Elbows point straight back. Fingers point toward your hips. And then push through your arms, push through your hips, push through your feet. Lift through your heart and curl back. Fish pose. Lower your chest, lift your head. Push your hands down to lift yourself back up. Does everybody have a block? Yeah? Cool. Okay. So grab your block and we're going to take ourselves back down to our backs. And then slide your block underneath your sacrum. And then walk your shoulders underneath you, just like bridge. You have the option to stay with feet down or grab onto your outer mat with your hands and then lift your feet off the floor. You can go knees bent or legs straight. So it's like a freestanding Viparita Karani or supported shoulder stand without weight in the shoulders. If you start feeling pressure in your head, feel free to come down earlier. Place your feet on the floor. Then extend your legs towards straight. Point your toes and knees up. You can also just do, again, knees bent, feet on the floor. Place your feet back to the floor. Push down through your feet, lift your hips up, remove your block. Let your knees fall and stagger to the right. Do or don't place your right foot or ankle to your left thigh for Dorje pose. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull up. Unhook your foot. Legs back up, hips to center, knees to the left. Hook left foot over right leg. Push foot into leg, leg into foot. Grab right wrist with left hand and pull up. Unhook your foot. Legs back up, hips to center. And then grab your outer feet with your arms inside your legs. Happy baby. Push feet and hands into each other. And feel free to rock side to side, massaging your back. Slide your hands down to your ankles. Pull your heels toward your hips and let your knees go wide. And then just let your legs relax. Allow your legs to pull on your arms, to pull on your upper shoulders, and to pull your scalp flesh. And breathe here. Wrap your arms around your legs. Recline child's pose. Take several breaths here. Lower your feet to the floor. You can either stay on your back or come up to seated for a little pranayama exercise. We're going to do square breathing, which is in for 5, hold for 5, out for 5, hold for 5. Take a full breath in first, then exhale. In for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue on your own. If this is too much, feel free to just breathe normal breath or in for 5, out for 5 instead of retention. After your next exhale, return to your natural breathing pattern. Feel free to stay upright in a seated meditative pose or come down for Shavasana and rest. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Bring gentle movements back into your body. Slowly and mindfully bend your knees. Roll to one side. And as you're ready, press yourself back to seated. We'll end with one Om. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Feel free to place your hands over your heart. Bowing your head into your heart, take a moment to honor yourself, each other, this practice, and anyone or anything else. When you're ready, lift your head, open your eyes.